It's funny when you think about it. Funny that we are back with another Gen 6 Wi-Fi battle. Yep, this time I face off against someone who I fought many times in the past. His name is Sanus, aka Magmapulse. We have had many battles throughout these Wi-Fi playlists, whatever. And this one is no different. This time around he has another new team and he's ready to bring on the pain. He sends in his Rose Ray with the Rosa. I bring in my Chansey. Let the unbelievable battle begin. DeRosa starts things off with a growth which boosted attack and special attack. Though if it was under the sunshine, it would have boosted twice. I just decide to pull for a Thunder Wave and just slow the ever-living hell out of it. Plus, Toxic would not work since Roserade's part poison. Though it would be funny if this DeRosa was a female. He goes for the Sludge Bomb, and the Sludge Bomb doesn't do much damage. However, he gets healed up thanks to the black sludge. Yeah, it's actually interesting to see at least. Anyway, he makes a switch, and he sends in the Dom fan named Steamroller, and that's kind of appropriate. Appropriate considering a Dom fan is named after a steamroller. When he does rollouts, he actually moves like a steamroller. Yeah. So I had to make a switch after pulling a Seismic Toss, which did 50 damage, and I sent in my Starmie. Unfortunately, that turned out to be a big mistake, as he goes straight for the knockoff and takes out my Starmie in one hit. Though, to be fair, this basically tells me that I need to just put a Focus Sash on this dang thing. Yeah, this Starmie is an Assault Vest, which pretty much was my mistake. I decide to send in my Rose Ray, which is female, and he makes a switch of his own. He sends out Grace, the Florgas. Yeah, and this Florgas is interesting. I go straight right away with a Leaf Storm, and the Leaf Storm did do a lot of damage, but sadly, it wasn't enough. Mostly since its special defenses are through the roof. And my special attack has dropped down by 2 levels, so I need to switch out and fast. So I decide to switch into my Chansey, but he takes advantage of it and pulls a Wish. And that Wish is going to help restore his health up to full power if it succeeds. He also has leftovers too, so that makes things a little more harder than they should be. So he goes for Aromatherapy, and that basically heals his Rose Ray completely. It affects every Pokemon on your team. Yeah, see what I mean? And I decide to go for a Toxic just to stall it out, since Poison's weak to Fairy. I mean, Fairy types are weak to Poison. You get my point, right? And the Wish came true and he's now fully healed. But now I have to contend with the fact that I have to, deal with a special defensing mess. He pulls another Aromatherapy, which fully heals its Poison status. I just basically say, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do it again anyway, and I'm just going to go for a Seismic Toss. Despite the fact that the attack is a fighting type, it does 50 damage regardless, so at least I'm happy with that. Sadly, I have to, keep on going with this. So I don't have that many Seismic Toss, and since it's going to keep on doing Wish and Protect over and over and over again, it's going to be absurd. So I just go for another Seismic Toss, which does 50 more damage, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. I really don't know if it is, so I have to keep on going. He goes for a Protect, just so that way you can restore its health to full power, and I went for another Seismic Toss, as predicted. Very smart move, because now that Floriaz is fully healed again. Oy, this is getting to be dreadful. Yeah, when I had this battle, my thoughts were, when is this thing gonna die or something? I mean, seriously, this thing is a powerhouse. It goes for another Wish, and my guess is just to heal that Donphan that suffered damage earlier. I decided to go for a Toxic this time, and I'm hoping it doesn't pull Aromatherapy, so that way I don't have to do this BS all over again. Now that it's fully healed, I'm in a big bind. And poison damage kicks in automatically. It starts off slow, but it's going to build up over time. Not that it matters because he decides to pull a switch and brings back Steamroller, the Donphan. Nice. I decide to pull a switch of my own. This is not going to be fun. And now I send in my Rose Raid, and the Wish kicks in right away, and he's fully healed. Bad, bad, bad. He switches right away because I think he's protecting the Leaf Storm or something, and he sends in Arachnius, the Galvantula, sorry. I went for a Sleep Powder and it failed. I went for another Sleep Powder, also failed. He takes advantage of this with a Sticky Web, and Sticky Web lowers your speed by 1 anytime a Pokemon drops by, and he makes a switch, and that got me really pissed off. It got me really angry, and now he sends in his own Rose Raid named DeRosa. I went for the Sleep Powder, didn't work, because it's Roserade's immune to it. And now it heals up thanks to Black Sludge. And I'm thinking, you know what, I'm just going to go right ahead and deliver a nice big Shadow Ball to the face. The damage wasn't much, but now he decides to pull a Growth. And that Growth boosts its special attack and its attack +1. If the Sunshine was kicking in, it would have boosted up by 2. That would be bad. Very bad. You know what, I decided to just go for a Sludge Bomb since Sludge Bomb's more effective. That and it does normal damage. But he decides to go for a Sludge Bomb of his own, and that does more than half. I'm now down to 20 HP, and I'm in deep trouble. So he makes a switch, and I decided to just go for one more Sludge Bomb, and that would do it. But then he sends out Crystal, the what was that Pokemon called? The evolved form of that Rock Ice Pokemon? I forgot. Anyway, he sends out Crystal, and he takes the Sludge Bomb nicely. Oh yeah, the Amaura. He makes a switch into Grace, the badly poisoned Florges. I went for Sleep Powder, that failed too, and that sucks badly. Dear God, this is going to be horrendous. Although I'm not worried because the poison damage is going to be building up over time and I can take advantage of it by delivering a nasty little Sludge Bomb to the face. It does more than half damage, and he decides to go for a Moonblast. Although the Moonblast didn't do damage, it did take down Roserade, which sucks. Roserade would have done a hell of a lot in this battle, I really do mean that. But my question now is, how am I going to contend with tanks like Florges and that annoying Steamroller that does major damage with Knockoff? I'm not worried per se, but I gotta do something fast, so I decided to send in my Chansey, and Chansey was caught in a sticky web. It doesn't matter though, because my Chansey's dang slow. He goes for the Wish, and I do believe that's going to end up sealing his fate, believe it or not, because I'm just going to Seismic Toss that SOB and take it down. Yeah, I take down Grace with the Seismic Toss, and I'm happy that I took down a Florges. Florges are just mad defensive in the special department, but sadly they're not good on it when it comes to their health. And now it summons in Steamroller, and Steamroller goes in with a knockoff. The damage doesn't really do much, and I lose my Eviolite, though that's going to put more of a danger on me than I would anticipate. I decide instead to just go for a Toxic and just get it over with. And the Toxic's doing its job, and now badly poisoned. However, without my Eviolite, I'm in a serious disadvantage because I can suffer more damage from stuff like Earthquake. So I decided instead to just stall it out with Soft Boiled, because Soft Boiled restores half of the total amount of Pokemon HP you have for your Chansey. And I do that, and the poison's kicking in considerably. He goes for another Earthquake, and I just decided to just go straight for the Soft Boiled. I can't do any attacks because as long as that Donphan's out there dishing out damage with Earthquake, I'm in serious trouble, and I don't want that. So I already healed up more. He suffers more damage as usual. He's already down slightly. And he decides to make a switch because I know if he would do another Earthquake, I would just do the same thing over and over. Instead, he sends out Galvantula, aka Arachnius. Pretty interesting name. I went for a Seismic Toss because I knew I would make a switch and I would be safe, but it was also a pretty smart prediction in my book. He went for the Thunderbolt, and the Thunderbolt doesn't do much thanks to its high special defense, and I just decided to just go for a Toxic. This thing's just toxic everywhere. So much Toxic, so little time. It's a mess. And yeah, the damage is going to build up over time. Thanks to my special defense, I could just withstand another Thunderbolt. And I do so. He goes for another Thunderbolt, and I withstand it nicely. I go for a Soft Boiled, and the Soft Boiled heals me up nicely. Yeah, I let the poison do its work while I just heal up and think defensively. Because with my previous teams, most of my Pokemon teams are mostly offensive. Focus on the offense. But here, with a balance of defense, I am able to withstand everything just fine. He gets a crit. I don't think it matters that much, because my Chansey can withstand that nicely. And I go for one more Seismic Toss, and that does it. Plus, the poison damage kicks in and knocks out Galvantula, or Arachnius as it's called. I'm happy with that, I'm pleased with that, and it's good for me. And now he sends in Absol, aka Anvira. And it's exerting his pressure. If it had Super Luck, then that would have been a completely different story. And now it Mega Evolves, and this is where my mistakes start kicking in. Yeah, I had no idea Mega Absol's ability is Magic Bounce, which sends the attack back. He goes for a Taunt, and that just pretty much shuts down my Chansey completely. So I needed to get myself out of there. I needed that Chansey later on. So I decided instead to send in Mienshao. And Mienshao was unfortunately caught in a sticky web, which suffers a speed drop. Not a good sign. And he went for the Sucker Punch and it failed. So he makes a switch, and I'm just going to go right away with offense. And it now sends in Derosa, and I just go for a fake out, and surprisingly, fake out actually takes down Roserade. Wow, I'm actually pretty impressed with that, I really am. However, this battle is still not over yet. This is going to be an intense one, I assure you. And now he sends out Steamroll on the Donphan. I just make a switch because I don't even know what Donphan has besides Earthquake and Knockoff that he'll bring out. So he goes for the Earthquake, and I predicted right, and I went with my Frost Rotom and withstood that just fine like a beast. I'm happy with that. However, now I gotta contend with, well, another issue. Because if he summons in his like Mega Absol, that would be bad. So he instead sends in Crystal the Amora, and I go straight for a Blizzard, and he misses, and it sucks. Yeah, my Rotom Frost has choice specs, and I mostly use it for tricks, so I needed to get out of there before I end up trapped. So I send in my Chansey, and like before, it gets caught in the sticky web. Speed down. It goes for an Ancient Power, and I made a pretty good switch there, and if he was lucky with Ancient Power, all of his stats would have been boosted up +1. He actually goes instead now for a Thunder Wave, and that Thunder Wave slowed down my Chansey, but it doesn't make much of a difference. He gets the Parahacks, lucky him, and he now makes a switch. I'm about to make a switch myself because I'm not leaving things to chance. I really am not. So he sends in Steamroller, and surprisingly I didn't switch. I went instead for a Soft Boil because I just want to heal up and withstand the Earthquake that he brings out. Nice, now that I'm fully healed, I'm hoping this time I can just pull off the switch and get out of there so Natural Cure can kick in and have my Chansey be healed. However, I don't do that. He goes instead now for an Earthquake, and the Earthquake does a mad load of damage. And I decide to go for a Seismic Toss because I'm not leaving things to chance. I need to take down that Donphan or else it's going to end up putting me in serious trouble. And the Poison kicks in, and it should be just enough so we can take it down. So I make a switch, Natural here kicking in and all, and I send in my Rotom, my Frost Rotom. So that way it can and it instead goes to a Play Rough. I didn't expect it to have Play Rough, but the damage was kind of minimal because my Rotom's attack is kind of bleh. So I basically took down the Donphan, one less threat out of the way, but it's not over yet. He sends in Mvira, the Mega Absol. He goes now instead for a Flamethrower, and the Flamethrower does massive damage. I went for a Will-O-Wisp, and mistake number 2, Magic Bounce sends that Will-O-Wisp back. I should have not done that. I should have just went with a different move, like a Blizzard or a Volt Switch. But that ends up costing me big. It ends up costing me big, but not for the whole fight. Trust me, it's not over yet. I decided to just have a switch out and see what happens. And he switches into his Crystal, the Aura. And I decided to make a switch because I'm going to need that for something. I need that for anything. And I send out a Pokemon that has never let me down in UU. Arcanine. And Arcanine gets caught in a sticky web. That makes no difference because I go straight ahead for the close combat. However, that Aurora has Chople Berry, which reduces damage for fighting type attacks, super effective, but it doesn't work because it's 4 times weak against it, just like Weavile. And even though it reduced the damage, it wasn't enough to take it down. Sorry, Aurora, you look very cool, but you got taken down badly. Ah well, and now he sends in Mvira, the Mega Absol. I needed to switch out because if he pulls a special attack or something like Sucker Punch, I'll be in deep trouble with that defensive drop. So I sent in my Rotom just so it can die. Yeah, it doesn't have much health as it is anyway, so I needed to use it for something, right? Sorry, Rotom, stinks that you got beat, but meh, whatever. So now I send in my Chansey, and it's down less than half, and it suffers instead from another sticky web. It goes for the taunt like before, and I end up falling for it again. I can't use Soft Boiled after it, that sucks! He decides instead to go for a Play Rough, and the damage was kind of meh, about 100 damage. I go instead now for a Seismic Toss, and the Seismic Toss does about 50 damage. I should have just done Seismic Toss on the first turn instead of the second. That would have helped me out a lot. That and it would steal my victory. Sadly, he goes for one more Play Rough and takes down the Chansey. So all I have left are my Mienshao and my Arcanine, and I'm not leaving things to chance, especially considering now that I suffer a speed drop, he's going to take advantage of it to the fullest. And thanks to the fake out that I pulled, it flinches and I get a free turn. That free turn makes no difference because he goes for a Play Rough and destroys my Mienshao without even breaking a sweat. Maybe I should just give Mienshao a Focus Sash. Anyway, my last Pokemon is Arcanine. We're down to 1 Pokemon aside. The battle's coming down to the wire. And he goes for a Sucker Punch, and if he would have gotten a crit on that Sucker Punch, he would have won. Sadly, it didn't. And I go for a Flare Blitz, and Arcanine takes down that Mega Absol. I was relieved when I won. I was like flipping out. I was so happy. I was just like insane. I would have went close combat and it still would have took him down regardless. But either way, that was a hell of a battle. Thank you so much, Magmapulse, aka Sanus. I really do appreciate it. His channel's in the description. Make sure you check him out. And today's question of the day is, who do you think will be revealed next for the new Smash Bros. Game? Recently, they revealed Ike, a character that appeared in the last Smash Bros. Game, Smash Bros. Brawl. However, he looks completely different. Basically, he looks as he was from, I think, Radiant Dawn now. Back then, it was Path of Radiance, aka FE9. So I believe it makes sense, but at the same time, how is he going to play? So I want to hear what you guys think. Personally, for me, I want to see, like, I think, either Chrom, Captain Falcon, or Shriek from the Xenoblade Chronicles game. Yeah, I may plan on doing a Let's Play of Xenoblade Chronicles in the future, but we'll see. That's about it for this battle. Thanks for watching. See you next time for another Wi-Fi battle. Peace.